Welcome to Melonomics with JD Garnier. Sometimes I look at the state of our community with sadness. I truly want us to live better than what we are. I want for us to change our economic circumstances. I want for us to reclaim economic and political power in our world. I want for us to find peace. But so much of that has to do with how we treat, manage, and control our resources. The only reason that we're doing any of this, working, starting businesses, investing, saving, all of these financial concepts, the whole purpose is to accumulate resources that are used towards the things and the people that we care about. But when those things are not aligned with one another, it creates chaos in our lives. When we mismanage our resources, the things that we truly care about suffer. When we prioritize the wrong things, the people we care about suffer. Now, I continue to drive the point with everything that I talk about. That is about more than just making good financial decisions. It is about making good life decisions. Now, not too long ago, I was watching reruns of Ayanna Vanzant Fix My Life. And in this episode, she was interviewing this young Black woman who had recently won the lottery. Now, this was years ago, but I think she had won over $100 million. I hear people say all the time, man, if I win the lottery, that'll fix all my problems. If I could just hit the Powerball, I wouldn't have anything to worry about. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching this woman's life, and it is in complete shambles. Her whole house was in disarray. She had junk everywhere. She was depressed. She had broken relationships with everybody in her family. She had wasted millions getting her boyfriend in and out of jail. Her life was in shambles. She had all the money that anybody could ever want in a life that nobody would choose. And that story was confirmation for me that it cannot just be about the money. $100 million later, and she was in the same position that she was in when she had nothing. Confused, unhappy, overwhelmed, paranoid, uncertain, insecure. These are feelings and character traits that we associate with being broke. Many of our athletes and entertainers are confused, unhappy, overwhelmed, paranoid, uncertain, and insecure. And if money cannot fix that, then what is the solution? The reason why fast riches can't bring peace of mind as slow wealth can is the same reason why microwave food will never taste as good as home cooking. The preparation period has to align with the results. You compromise the integrity of the process when you speed up the time, and the results never come out the same. Even if it looks the same, it's not going to taste the same. Rich looks like wealth, but it don't feel like it. It has the same ingredients, but the results are not the same. When you put something in the oven, all of the ingredients become embedded into one another. They merge into one, and once they combine, they can't be separated. They become a part of one another. The seasoning, the toppings, the base, the flavor, all become indistinguishable because they are a part of one another. When you have a wealth mindset, that mindset becomes embedded in everything that you do, in all of the resources that you control, in your access, your outlook, your control of those resources could not be separated from the way that you think. They become aligned. See, rich is the accumulation of resources and money. You can win the lottery and get rich. But wealth is the separation of time and money. The only way you become wealthy is when you increase your resources, you increase your money without the increase of your time. And the only way to do that is through the ownership, control, and management of resources. Because if you're not doing the one working, something or someone has to be doing the work for you. Those are your resources. But the ownership and possession of those resources is not enough without the wisdom and understanding of how to manage those resources. The wisdom is the asset. Oil in the ground is just a resource. It is the wisdom and knowledge of how to refine and repurpose it that makes it an asset. The value of $1 is in the hands of the holder. The value of $1 is in the hands of the holder. If I give a 1-year-old a dollar bill, what they going to do with it? They're going to put it in their mouth. They're going to ball it up. They're going to tear it up. Because they don't understand that $1 is a resource. So it's wasted. If I give a $5 bill to a 5-year-old, they might not tear it up because they do understand that it is a resource, but they don't really understand its value. And so they may play with it. They may save it. They may put it in their piggy bank, but they're going to forget about it 5 minutes later. They don't understand its value. Now, if I give a 15-year-old a $100 bill, they understand the value of that money, but they don't understand how to use it in the best way. And so most likely they're going to spend that money on something frivolous or something unnecessary. They know what the money can buy, but they don't know how to use it. They don't understand what the money can do. The value of $1 is in the hands of the holder. The value of $1 is in the hands of the holder. And so how many of us have resources that we either don't understand, don't know the value of, or don't know how to use? And so how can your resources work for you if you don't understand those resources? If you don't know what they're worth? If you don't know how to use them? This is the reason why a woman that wins over $100 million in the lottery is still in the same condition that she was in when she was broke. She had $100 million of value with no idea how to use it. It takes a certain level of wisdom for that 1-year-old to understand the resources that they have. It takes a certain level of wisdom for that 5-year-old to understand the value of the resources that they have. It takes a certain level of wisdom for that 15-year-old to understand how to use the resources that they have. But you think that you are ready to handle winning the lottery with no preparation whatsoever. Let's take money out the scenario. Let's say instead of $100 million, you inherited 200 acres of farmland that could generate millions of dollars. You never ran a farm in your life. You never lived on a farm. You don't know the first thing about taking care of a farm, and now all of a sudden you are responsible for maintaining 200 acres of land. Do you think that you have the knowledge and wisdom to maintain that land? Or will you mismanage it? Will you cause some of the crops to be wasted? If you don't learn to get help, how long before that land is not producing any crops? How long before you mismanage the asset? Wealth requires wisdom. Your wisdom and your wealth have to be aligned, because if they are not in alignment, they're going to be wasted. If you have wealth and no wisdom, the result is a waste of the wealth. And if you have wisdom and no wealth, the result is a waste of the wisdom. They must be in direct alignment with one another. And so in the beginning, your time is spent understanding, accumulating, owning resources, using your human capital. The first resources you will ever have is your human capital, the sum total of your abilities. Your mind is your human capital, your talents, your work ethic, your ideas, your education, your leadership abilities, your compassion. Your human capital is the first thing that you have to create resources. And if the first and most valuable resource is yourself, and you don't understand what you have, if you don't know the value of what you have, if you don't know how to use what you have, you wasting yourself. If you don't know who you are, how can you be wealthy? If you don't understand your value, how can you understand the value of the resources that you control? If you're going to develop a wealth mindset, you're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to be honest with yourself. You are mismanaging your financial resources because you're mismanaging yourself. Your life is in chaos. Your priorities are out of line. You're not using your talents. Your work ethic is horrible. You're scared to take risks. You're connected to the wrong people. You are living an unhealthy life. You have all of that going on, and you think that money is supposed to solve it. It don't work like that. Now, I'm not saying that your life has to be perfect, but if you are seeking financial wealth, you will have to evaluate and reconfigure the things that are going on in your life that are preventing you from your potential. Your work ethic, your fears, your self-esteem, your selfishness, your impatience, your discipline. An investment strategy is not going to fix that. A real estate deal is not going to solve that. A financial miracle cannot rectify that. And at the end of the day, the value is you. You are the asset. The money is just a resource. If the asset is not handled properly, the resources diminish. The land is the asset. The crops are just the resource. But if you don't handle the land properly, the resources die. The business is the asset. The stocks are just a resource. If the business is not running properly, the stocks are worthless. And so the $100 million question is, if nothing changed in your life, if you did not improve in any way, would you be able to handle $100 million? If you didn't change your work ethic, if you didn't improve your discipline, if you didn't change your circle, if you did not commit to educating and informing yourself, how ready would you be to get $100 million? What about $1 million? Your expectation must match your preparation. I know you keep wanting me to give you the 5 secrets. We keep looking for the top 3 ways. We keep looking for the easiest path to build wealth. But I have to tell you the truth. You are going to have to change the way that you think. and the way that you live to prepare yourself for the life that you want. Melonomics is about actions. And if your mindset is not ready, your resources will not last. If we never developed an understanding of what we have, know the value of what we have, know how to use what we have, then it will always be wasted, misused, and mismanaged. That's my show.